Right, so recently I sent an application to be a new Art Impressions affiliate. They had posted over on their Instagram feed or their Facebook page that they were looking for some affiliates, and then they were going to send them a little package of stamps. So this is one of the stamps they sent me. It's called Barnyard Animal Cubbies. It's really cute. It's got the little barn, and then it's got like 7 little animals, and it says hey there, and it's also got one that says thanks a bushel. And then the stamp set also comes with the dies. So I notice on the picture on the front anyway, the die or the little doors are open, and on the die it cuts that out for you. So I think that's really cool. So anyway, I'm super excited that they sent me this little package, so I thought I'd go ahead and stamp some images up, and I did stamp them on some Neenah 80-pound solar white cardstock with Memento Tuxedo Blanc. So I thought we would color some up, and then we would put a card together and see how it went. I'm super excited to try out their stamps. I don't have any Art Impression stamps yet, so this is my first one. When I stamped it, it stamped perfectly fine the very first time. I know a lot of times you get these clear stamps and they require some conditioning, but in my case, I didn't need any of that. I just pulled them out of the package and stamped them, and I'm ready to go. So let's go ahead and color and see what we can come up with. And here's a list of Copic markers we will be using today. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start over here on my barn silo, and I'm going to use W6, 5, and 4, and then for the roof I'm going to use C2, 1, and 0. Alright, let's start over here on our silo. We're going to start with W6. And I think I'm going to put my shadow, I'm going to turn it around here. So I'm going to put my shadow, let me see, what am I going to do with that? Let's put our shadow over here by our building. And bring it out just a little bit more. And then we got our little ladder here, so I'm going to put a little bit of a shadow on this side of our ladder too. And maybe on the inside of the rungs here. Get that started. Next, we're going to add W5. So we're going to go ahead and add a little bit to the edge of this, just to soften it a little bit. And I'm just lightly going over the edge of that color I laid down. And let's go ahead and turn our little barn around now. And let's do a little bit underneath of the top. And then I'm also going to go down this side so that it makes it look like it's curving around to the back. Makes it look round. Okay, I'm going to try that. Then we're going to go over and we're going to add W4. So let's, again, you're going to want to go over the edges of the color you just laid down. Let's go ahead and grab W3 too. We'll add that on there. It's seeming pretty dark, so let's go ahead and lighten this up further out here. And then I'm going to go ahead and add W2 to that. Okay, then we're going to go back over it with a second coat. So let's grab our W6 again. Hear that clicking? That's our Mr. Hermes, or Mr. Hercules. He's wandering around. Oh. He's wandering around the house. He's bored. I think I'll put this over here too. Give it just a little dab right along that edge. Next, we'll go over that with W5. And we'll grab W4. And I think I'll bring it down this side of the window and kind of straighten this out right here. Next, we'll have W3. And W2. And I always like to use the lightest color to kind of smooth over everything, just to kind of blend everything out a little bit better. All right, let's go ahead and do the roof. For that, we're going to use C2. And since I have my shadow over here, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit along the edge so it looks like it again curves over the side. And then these got little rivets in it, so I'm going to do this side, and then maybe this side, and then this way. I'm going to go this way and over the side of this one. I may want to make that darker. I'm not sure yet. Next, we'll add C1 to that. I'm just barely going over the edge of that C2. And then we'll go over the entire thing with our C0. And I'm going to give it a second coat, so I'm going to go with C2 again. C1. And C0. I think I'm going to take my W2 and go down the inside of this window right here. Just give it a little bit of color. Let's go ahead and do some shingles now. So for that, we're going to use E44, 43, 42, and 41. That's my plan anyway. It may change. All right, so I'm going to start with E43. So let's go ahead and do... Let's see, how are we going to want to do that? We're going to want to have, this one's going to have a little bit of a shadow underneath. I'm thinking maybe I'm going to do along the bottom. We can always change it up later, right? Just a little tab lifting over there. You can see a little bit. Next, we're going to add E42. And we're just going to go right over the top of that. So we're just going to add a little bit more. And then I'm going to add E41 to that. And we're going to go for a second coat, so I'm going to grab my E43 again. I think I'll make it a little bit wider. And then we'll add E42. And then I'm going to fill those the rest of the way in with my E41. And I tend to use my lightest color to go over all the color I laid down, so I swipe over the entire shingle. And then I'm going to come in with my E44, and I'm going to do a little line underneath of the bottom of the shingles. So it looks like they're kind of overlapping and casting a shadow on the bottom one. I'm trying to keep my line pretty skinny. Let's see what else we want to do here. Let's also use these colors for the wood around the door and the window. So we'll do E42. Oops, not E42. Let's do E43 first. So E43. Click from each side there. Let's see, what's this one doing? I do a little bit from the bottom. Let's do the window 2. Then we'll add E42. And then we'll add E41 on top of that. And then we'll come back with a second coat. So grab your E43. E42. And then over that with E41. And I'm going to go with my E44 on this edge right here. There's a little bit of the edge showing, so I'm just going to color that right along that. Darken that up a little bit. Make it pop. And you could also use it to go underneath this board that's on top. A little bit of a shadow there. Be a little bit on the lines right here where it's going into the next board. And let's do the same thing up here. Let's go a little bit underneath this top one up here. And let's see, there's a window right here. Let's go ahead and darken up the sash on this one. I think I'm going to have something popping out of this window over here, but we'll put this on there for right now. Let's go ahead and work on our barn next. So for that, we're going to use W5, E19, E09, and E07. I'm going to go ahead with my E19 first. And let me see, where do we want to go? Let's go ahead and continue with our shadow. Since we put the shadow over here, let's go ahead and continue with our shadow over here on this side of our barn. I'm going to go with a small line right underneath the eave here. And then over here, since the sun's coming from this way, we're going to thicken this line up. So let's bring it down a little bit more. And out. Next we'll go with E09. And E07. And we're going to give it a second coat. So again, grab your E19. E09. I'm thinking maybe I'll bring this E09 underneath this window. And then we'll finish off with E07. And then I'm going to take my W5 and I'm going to use that to make the shadow back in here. So I'm going to do a small line underneath this eave. Not quite so thick. And then over here, we're going to go with a little bit thicker line. And down this side. Okay, E19. So over here, again, we're going to go with, this is going to be pretty shadowed over here. Because remember, we're having the sun coming from this side over here. So we're going to bring this out quite a bit. And then our E09. Go ahead and fill this in. Remember, it's going to be shadowed. So we'll come back with a second coat of E19. And then our E09. And then we're going to take W5 and do that shadow. So let's go underneath this eave. And then about a quarter of the way in on this. No, let's call it about a third. And let's hop down here and we'll do the same thing on this little section over here. So again, E19. Then our E09. Then our second coat, so again, E19. I'm thinking I'm going to come up to the edge of this window. The same with this one, we'll come straight down from the edge of that window. And then our second coat of EO9, so it's just going to be on this side of the window. And then again with our W5, I'm going to go underneath the eave and about halfway in on that window. And underneath this eave, or that window seal. All right, that leaves our barn. So again, we'll go with E19. And let's see, this is still going to have a shadow on it because it's going to, the sun's coming from this way, so it's still going to have a shadow. So let's go ahead and do up. This. And then this one, go. Around over here. And then the barn's going to be getting quite a bit of light, so let's kind of taper this off down to there. But this doorway right here is going to have a shadow, so let's go like this. And the same for this window. A little bit down there. Okay, I'm going to go with EO9. So we want to go over the edge of that color. So I'm going to go ahead and feather this down here a little bit. And then we're going to go over that edge. Feather this down a little bit. And then we'll go with EO7. Right now we're using this color to soften that edge a little bit because we're going to come back with a second coat. So I'm not going to fill all that space in. I just want to soften the edge of our EO9. We'll come back with a second coat, so E19. EO9. EO7. Then we'll come in with W5. Let's do under the eave here. So I'm going to go with W5 for that. And W4. And I think I'll come back with another coat of W5. And I think I'll maybe bring this down. Sure. W3. W2. Go with W5 back here on these back ones. And let's see, we're also going to do this door. What color are we going to do that door? Let's do a little bit of this. W4. Re. 2. I'll do this ladder too. I don't know if I'm loving that ladder. We might have to change that. All right, we'll skip that for a minute. Let's go ahead and do E19 on our doors up here. And then E09. E17 or E07. And our second coat. E09. And we'll fill it in with our E07. And let's do the bottom doors too. So E19 for that. Making a big mess. Okay, let's see. Let's go. Their shadow like this. Remember, the door is going to cut right here and it's going to open. E09. And then our E07. And we're going to need a second coat. So E19. E09. And our E07 again to fill it in. Then we'll add our W5. And I'm thinking that I'm going to use E44 for these little knobs. And this ladder. The gray just didn't make it pop out enough, so let's go ahead and do and I made a little boo-boo here on this one, so I'm going to take my W2 and just swipe over that a couple times, and that will push it away. Same with right there. Let's take W3 and darken this up a little bit. Let's pop up here and do this little fence. So I'm going to start with E43. And I'm just going to add a little bit of shadows in here. So let's go with maybe along the back. The barn is what's going to take you the most work. So now you're down to the easy parts. And then we'll add 42, E42. And 41. And we'll give it a second coat, so E43 again. E42. And E41. Let's do this little sheep next. So I'm going to go ahead and go with C2. And let's give him a few little squirrels. I'm just calling them like little C's in here. And I just kind of switch it up, go different directions. And then we grab C1, do the same thing. Add some little half C's in here, or little swirls, circles, whatever you want to call them. And then C1, or C1, or C0, sorry. We're going to go over the entire sheep. And I'm going to do his face. And I'm going to come back with my C2. And let's give him a shadow underneath this little puff of hair here. Let's do our little pig next. So I'm going to go ahead and do R11. And then we'll add a little bit of R12. And I'm going to soften those lines a little bit with my R12 again. So I'm just going to flick right over the top of this a little bit. A little duck. Let's go with Y06. and Y15. And we'll go over that a little bit with our Y06. And let's grab YR15 to do his beak. Little chicken. What are we gonna do with that little chicken? Let's do, since we have EO7 out and it's kind of a red color, let's do this little thing on the top of the chicken's head. I have no idea what that's called and I didn't look it up. You could make it red too. And this little thing hanging down here. And we'll use our YR15 for the beak. I'm thinking I'm gonna go with white. We'll have a white chicken, so let's go C2. And maybe C1 or C0. I don't want to take up too much of the white, so we're just going to flick a little bit of this just to soften those edges a little bit. And then I'm just going to leave that chicken with all that white space in there. All right, we have our pieces all colored up. Let's cut them out and see what we can put together. Okay, so we have got all of our stuff cut out here. I used the coordinating die that came with my stamp set to do that. And now what we're going to do is we are going to use this My Favorite Thing Slider Surprise die. I already went and cut my pieces out. So you've got this little piece that folds up so you can slide it up and see what's behind it. And it also comes with this little section that you cut out that goes behind here that you can pull up to make it slide. Only thing I wish they had done is on this one, I wish that the little die went all the way across to cut it all the way out. It doesn't. I know that's an extra piece, but I had to cut that off. It seemed like kind of redundant. Why didn't they just put it all the way across there? But who knows? So we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and do this piece first. Since I have this little barn set, I think that I'm going to, let's move all of that stuff up here. I'm going to put some clouds up here on this part. So let's put a piece of paper behind here so we don't get it everywhere. And what else do we got going on here? I'm going to go ahead and put this little piece behind here too, just in case I make a mess. And then I'm going to use my Favorite Things Cloud ST number 99 stencil to do some clouds. And I'm going to use some Ranger Tumbled Glass Distress ink and my little sponge dauber. And let's see, I think that I don't want to go up into here, so let's start right here. Maybe I should have put something, I'm rethinking here. I maybe should have put something up here to keep this white, maybe. So maybe this piece. Maybe we'll just put this like so. Let's try that. Okay, so we're gonna put that. And then we're going to hold this, and let's see what we can do here. I think I'll just try not to go up that far. See how successful. Oh, I was successful. Okay, and then we're gonna move this. Let's see. Let's go like this maybe. And I think I need to re-ink my tumbled glass distress inker here. Let's see. We go. Let's go like this maybe. So you kind of bring it up so that it covers up a little bit. This one. Oops. I'm not loving this section right here. Let's see if we can fix that. There, that looks a little bit better. Some of this isn't going to show either, so the barn's going to cover up this side pretty much. And I think I'll bring it down this way just a little bit. Maybe one more. Look at this one. I've completely messed up this cloud. Let's give this a little cloud down here. We're gonna have to go a little bit more because I'm not loving that either. Okay, I'm kind of liking that. We're going to go with that. Okay, let's go ahead and take that off. We move this, move a bunch of stuff here. All right, so now we got our little parts. So we're going to want to put our little parts on to our background here. So I also went ahead and I did some grass. And for the grass, I used My Favorite Things Grassy Hills dye. And then I did the paper. I just did a piece of plain white paper with my bundled sage and my forest moss oxide inks. And then I spritzed them with a little bit of water and dabbed it off. And then I cut them out. I thought that would be easiest. So we're going to want to put that. I'm thinking we're going to put this down here. And see, it'd be a good idea to do it first. That way we can cut it off. Okay, so let's go ahead and attach some grass down here. And if you do it first, then you can cut it off. So let's grab our liquid glue. And I think I'll just put it right onto the paper. If I use the liquid, look, I can slide it around. Let's see how we want this one to look. About like... this. Hold it down there for a second and let it dry. We're just going to trim this off. Throw those away. Or maybe use them for later. All right, then we got our little barn. Or a little barn here. I'm going to kind of go like this. So on our card, this is going to fold right here in the middle. Right here. So we don't want our barn to go, I don't want to glue it above that. And then I'm going to have this sentiment down here at the bottom. Down here maybe. thinking that we'll put this up here like this. But I'm thinking maybe I'm going to put a little bit of a pop dot back behind here. So let me grab some foam tape. Well, here's some right here. I'll just peel this piece off. And so maybe put a little bit on each side of this window. This. That way it's above, look, is it above the thing? Yes. See, don't do as I do. It's got to be below the little curve. So let's put it down here, kind of above this door. Pull it off, stick it down here. This. Okay, I'm thinking I'm liking that. So let's go ahead and attach that. And I think I'll do glue down here on the bottom to hold it onto my grass. Uh-oh, I thought of something. This. See how complicated this is getting? This is getting more complicated by the minute here. This can't go there. Uh-oh, I hope I don't rip my paper. Oh, Heather. Well, poopy doopy doo. You know what? I'm going to make it work. I'm going to, because look, I got a little ripped paper right there. I'm thinking maybe we can stick maybe something over here. So when you pull it up, maybe have this. Okay, we're not going to stress about that. I messed it up, but you know what? We're not going to redo it. Okay, so we're going to go with that. Let's see what else we got. We've got the little fence. Whoops. I'm just not doing very well today, am I? After all that work on the grass, look, you hardly see it back there. It's fine. It's fine. We could do this little sheep back here. I think he's cute. Let's put him back there. I might have to color another animal up. Okay. Let's glue him down a little bit. Okay, then what else we got? We got this cute little pig. I'm thinking maybe the little pig could maybe go in here and be poking his head out. But he's going to need to kind of lean out a little bit. So let's just go like this. Trim his little ear. And then we can stick him in here. And he can stick his head out. Uh-oh, but then we can't see the sheep. Okay. No, we're not going to put him there. Maybe he can be over here. This. Let's work some things out here. What about this duck? What's he going to be doing? I'm liking that. Let's put him up here. Okay, so let's do... hold him in place a second, get him glued on there. What else we got? We got this little door right here too. Whoops. Yeah, we got this chicken. Where's this chicken gonna go? Maybe. I'm undecided on that. Uh-oh, now my chicken's stuck. Let's see, maybe the chicken can go up here. Be roosting on the roost. Right here. Kind of needing something, since this door opens, I'm kind of needing something in here. No, I still want the pig down here. I'm going to put the chicken back here. This is what happens when you don't decide these things before you start doing the video. Move them over a little bit, maybe like this. Then we'll tap this down. You can open the door and see the little chicken in there. I like that. Okay, what about this little guy? I'm thinking that he is going to go right here. I'm going to shut these doors. Shut it. This little guy. Hold that down. It's coming together, I guess. Okay, we got our chicken in here. Ta-da! And he's not connected to the back. Remember, it's got to flip up. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to flip this over. And what we want to do is we want to put some adhesive onto this section right here. I'm going to have the curved side, or the top that's got the rounded corners, be up here at the top. So we're going to put this down. I'm going to line it up here at the top. And then I'm going to press it down. Okay. And then I had to order a little stamp that says pull up here, so I have that on order, but I haven't done it yet, so I'm going to have to stamp that later. But in the meantime, I want to be able to stamp on the back, so I'm going to go ahead and put this little piece back here on the back. Maybe. Thinking maybe I'm going to make it pop up. Let me think about that. I've got to think. Okay, so I'm going to put this one down first. Okay, let's go ahead and attach this So then what did I decide to do with this? Did I decide to go, I'm thinking maybe I'm thinking about popping this up off of here a little bit. I think I might get some tape. Okay, do I want to put this on first? How do I want to do it? I want to do, I'm thinking maybe I'm going to cut this really skinny. Do another little skinny piece over here. Okay, I'm going to go with that. And see, we can stamp something right in here. Okay, now this, make sure your card is going the way that you want it to go, because, you know, I have totally put it on there upside down. So I'm going to make sure it goes the right direction. And then I think I'm just going to use my liquid glue on here, just because it's got some layers here now, and I think the other tape runner will be a little bit harder. And this way too, I can kind of move it around a little bit if I need to. Like I just had to there, I just had to move it. Okay, I'll go like this. Let's try it out. Look at there. We're gonna be able to stamp something in there, but this can go on to here. I'm thinking that maybe this we can attach. This maybe with little tape. That's not going to fit. And this, I used the stamp from the thing and I embossed it with some Ranger white embossing powder. And I used this, My Favorite Things Starburst Cinnamon strips. But as you see, whoops, the cinnamon was too big. I wanted it to be smaller. So what I did is I cut it out and then I stuck it back into the die so that one end was tucked up in here. Or it was like overlapping over the top of the die. So then I stuck it back like this on the side there so that this stuck over there, and then I just trimmed it off with the die. I ran it through twice, so that worked out really good. So we're gonna go ahead and put this right here. Make sure it's still opening. There we go, it is. I think I probably could have creased this a little bit more. Maybe mushed it a little bit. Oh, now I didn't. Don't squish it too much, Heather. Like this. All right, let's go get our cinnamon, and we'll stamp on the inside in here. All right, let's go ahead and stamp our cinnamon. I'm going to use my VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and I'm going to use the other cinnamon that came in the stamp set. It says, "Thanks a bushel." We're just going to pull this up, kind of stick it up here. I could put it in my Stamp-A-Majig or my platform, but I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to stamp it on here. So I'm going to kind of eyeball it. And there we have it. And we could decorate that with some paper, but I think I'm just going to leave it like that. So there we have it. Pull it up. And then remember, I had my little spot over here where I pulled it off and there was a little bit missing right there. I think I'm just going to leave it that way. In reality, are they really going to pull the card up this far? And you could put in here, you can put a gift card. So you can slide the gift card in there, put a little piece of adhesive on the back to hold it there, or just slide it in there. And then when they pull it up, there's a gift card, and then they take it out. It says "Thanks a bushel" in there. But my little boo-boo right here, it's just a little bit right here, but I don't think that that's going to, it's not going to detour me. I could put a frame around this part and stick it on there, but I'm afraid of messing it up some more. So I'm just going to leave it like that. And I don't think anyone who gets the card is going to care that it's got that little spot right there. But there is our adorable little slider card with our Art Impressions stamp on there. It's got all these little interactive little elements in there. I think it turned out super cute. So don't forget, guys, I'll put a link to everything I use down in the description box in case you would like to pick something up. I really appreciate you shopping my affiliate links. It helps me out just a little bit, and it helps support my channel. If you like the video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, and that also helps my channel, and share it if you would like with others in case they would like to come check it out. I hope you're having a fabulous day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.